Welcome, Intro to Engineering students, and we are moving along learning about dimensioning, and we are ready to learn how to add dimensioning to our drawings inside of Inventor. So our goal, I've created a sample drawing that I will walk through with you quickly, how to draw this object with some shortcuts in Inventor, and then we'll guide you through how to create a detailed dimension drawing as you see on the object here. All right, so to get started, let's go ahead and show you a quick way to, some shortcuts to quickly draw an object much like you see here. So I'm going to go Control New, go ahead and hit a standard IPT to create a new drawing. Once it loads up, we'll pick the drawing plane that we're going to work from. I guess we're going to start a sketch first. We'll start from here. The overall dimensions of this box, its overall width is 5, overall width is 5, overall height is 3. So I can use my rectangle tool and let's go ahead and make a 5 by 3 rectangle. 5, tab, 3, hit enter, and I can click my middle mouse button twice and I've got that centered on the screen. If you notice, this one had a couple notches in the top here. So continuing with my rectangle tool, start right at the point here so it has a good starting spot. And I would like that to be 1 inch wide and down 1.5. So again, I'm just using the tab key to move between those two input. Just tab, 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 bounces between those. Hit enter. We'll do the same thing over here. And I can use some inferred points. Look at that. That lines that up. Hit tab then. 1.5 is good. We'll put the 1 in here. And I've got my two platforms or notches set up. Now, I need to make a circle. Remember, we had a couple circles, couple holes here. Let's go ahead and grab our circle tool, and we can use something called an inferred point. So I want it to be, the center point to be right off this corner. So if I just hover till it clicks on that, and I can start hitting tab till I get into my input boxes. Well, my X is already set at 4, but I want this one to be a 0.75, so I'm exactly halfway between those points. That's my center. Just move my mouse to drag that out. I want a 1 inch diameter hole. All right, we're going to make one more over here. I want to share the same center as this one and this point, so I'll drag those down. Where those inferred points intersect, we can go ahead and click, move my mouse, and we're going to go 0.5 for the size of my circle there. And just like that, we are about done. Right click, OK, turns off my drawing tool. I'm ready to extrude. And watch what happens. And when I go to extrude this, I can pick which parts I want to extrude. So I use my shortcut of E for extruding. Middle mouse button twice to get back to the center. And if I hover in the middle part, that turns pink. That says that's what you're going to extrude. If I hovered here, that would extrude that hole or this one. I want this part right here. So I'm going to click on that and then just have to input my depth of my extrusion. And we're going to go 2 inches on that one. And just like that, we've quickly made the drawing that we have on our drawing sheet. All right, let's go ahead and save that. File, and you want to save this to your Google Drive. I'm just going to dump it in my download for now. And I called that example. Yeah, we're going to leave that alone. Our next step is we need to use our drawing sheet. All right, Control N brings up our create new file box and look for your Inventor drawing sheet that we've input. This is the one with the blue jay on it. Double click. There it is. Remember, we always have to put our name in there. And don't worry about the scale. I'm not going to worry about that. But your class period, you could put 4th hour. I'm going to put IED 2020 on this example drawing. Just like that, we can accept OK, and that'll open up our drawing sheet. And we've been practicing a little bit from last week, so let's go ahead and hit our base view. And since our drawing is already open, it already opens up the drawing we were just working on. I can drag this down into the lower left because we know that's where our base view or our front view goes. Drag to the right gives me a side view. Drag up gives me my top view. Drag it up over here gives me my isometric, and I can hit OK. And there's my drawings in place. All right. Remember, we always like shading on our isometrics, so if we come up here and we right click, we can go up to Edit View, choose the shaded option here in the drawing view box, and we've added shading to our isometric, so it's kind of easy to see the realism part of that, the shadowing and so on. All right. I'm not totally pleased with the size of this, so I'm going to hover over my front view, right click and edit view. I'm going to change the size. I can try full size, so just one. Move my mouse out, too big. Let's go back 0.75. That looks a lot better to me. I'll hit OK and notice that my side view and my top view, they follow suit and they get all set up as well. All right. So there's a couple ways we can go about this. We can do like we did with the manually dimensioning items. I might detail a couple things first to get some things taken care of. When we have holes, remember, we need to put center marks on that. And how do we do center marks? These may be worthy of making some notes in your notebook because you'll do this a few times. So we go up to annotate. Just how do we put notes? We annotate our drawing. Right over into the symbols panel, which is all of this right here, we have a panel of tools right here. And if I hover over this little plus sign, it says center mark. And if we remember from manual drawings, the little plus mark is our center mark. So let's select that tool. Hover down here and we get close and it's going to say, yep, there's my center mark. There's my center mark. I'm good. All right, what else do we need? Well, we need to put center lines in my our side view and our top view. So we can go up here. An easy way to do that, remember when I drew this, these shared the same center point. We're going to go up here to this tool called Center Line Bisector. So we want to find out the center of a couple lines. So between here and here, Center Line Bisector is an amazing tool for that. So I select this line and this one. There is my center line. Notice how it lines up perfectly here. Now, I could put them up here, but I'm going to gain much other than it sticks out a little bit. We're not gaining a whole lot of information there. Really, the precedence of line says the object line takes precedence. So I'm going to undo that. In this case, we really don't need that. So I'm going to get rid of those two center lines. You aren't going to see them anyways. All right, so now we're ready to put some actual dimensions on. This is one of the beautiful things about Inventor. It makes this process pretty simple. We are still in the Annotate tab. We want to use our dimension tool. I like to start with the big three: the width, the height, and the depth. Select our dimension tool. To get our width, the easiest way, my favorite way to do this, let's pick this side and then this side. I don't like to pick the corners all the time, but pick a side. So this side to way over here, click, and if I drag it up, there is my dimension. And I'm going to uncheck this box because I really don't want to have that pop up every single time. I would rather I don't see that each time. It's saying, do you want to modify this when you put it in? For the simplicity of what we're working on, not necessary. All right, big three. We've got the width. Let's go ahead and let's get the height. Okay, let's get the height. So top, bottom gives our height. And notice I'm putting all in the space adjacent to our drawings. Well, let's use our top view, okay? So top, or back and front, drag it out here, and notice they'll snap into place for you so they're nice and uniformly spaced. I've got my big three. Let's go back and do our contour or our secondary dimensions. All right, we have a contour right here when we're dealing with the width. So we can pick here and this line, drag it up. There's that one. Let's do the same thing on the other side. And notice how they'll line up all nice. All right. Any more? Yeah, we've got something going on here, don't we? So we can go right there and right there. Gives us our contour. Why did I put it on the side view? On the front view? Because that's where the contour is shown best. All right, we've got height and contour height. We've got width and contour width. We've got depth. There is no contour depth. We are just about done here. Let's do a couple more things. We need to put in location for these holes. Location for the holes. Okay? All right. So the easiest way to do that for the most clarity will be put that at the bottom. So we can use our dimension line again and say from this edge to that center mark or center line, pull it down. There, I'm 1 inch in. We'll do the same thing over here. Notice how we can use the center mark. It just extends it out as a center line to note where those things go. Best place for this line? Well, we could just go from the bottom up to here and drag that out. We know it's 0.75. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy off. But what happens if I were to take this and just connect those two guys? We know that these are on the same horizontal plane, therefore I can get by with one dimension. What am I missing? I just need to get the size of the holes. Okay, size of the holes. Dimension tool will do that too. We'll go right down here to the hole and we'll drag it down, and nice and neat. 1 inch diameter hole, this one. Let's see. Let's see how that looks if I drag that down. I don't want it to get confused by the other. I can offset that so you can easily see that the size of this hole doesn't get confused here. So with that, I am pretty much done. I've got hidden lines in place. I've got center lines in place. I've got dimension lines to show me size and location of everything. Just like that, you have dimensioned. Okay. Most everything, again, done in the Annotate tab, Dimension tool, clicking on side, drag it up, line, drag that up. You want to have these lines line up and let the computer program work for you. And just like that, you've got a drawing made and dimension. Makes pretty quick work on it, right down to the space that you have between the extension line and the object. So that makes that nice and neat. Now, if we go ahead and save this, we'll file and save. It's going to save that as an Inventor drawing. Notice the same file I used before, but our extension is a .idw. We'll go ahead and save that, and we should be all done. There's your once over on how to draw a part a little bit quicker, but more importantly, how to dimension in Inventor. Thanks for watching. See you next time, guys.